At this point, this is what deployment mode looks like. What you'll notice is we've got these nuggets, these score nuggets, but the other steps where we had the little hexagonal model algorithms, they're gone. These are just compiled scores. So what we end up doing is we run this table function. It's like there's 1,500 new cases coming in. We have true-false statuses on all the text fields. And then here's the prediction. And here's propensity score. Exiting out of that, we're going to pull out every customer that we predict will be a cancel threat or a cancel risk. We're going to sort it high to low on propensity score. So we're going to pull up the top 50 customers from a propensity viewpoint for churning. And what we're going to end up doing is we're going to write this to an Excel file. When I write this to Excel, I'm going to run it. See how it gives the overwrite warning? The reason I do this is because I might give this customer list to a customer service agent so he or she can go through the business of calling them on a daily basis to give them an offer to prevent them from attriting, dropping the cell phone service. If I want to see what this looks like in Excel, I just click and hit run. There's my Excel file. There's my propensity scores high to low. Remember that ROI chart when I said you're going to sort them high to low in terms of propensity scores? You're going to give the best offers to the people most likely to attrite because you want to keep these people. And in our imaginary process, we've got 50 that we're giving offers to at a time. We're going to dig our way deeper and deeper into the file until we've hit everybody with a retention offer that we want to hit with a retention offer. This is how you would go about implementing analytics across your organization. I'm going to close this out. And then to put a model in production, we go into Tools, Stream Properties, and Options. And there's a way to put a model into production using deployment mode. If we set the deployment type to scoring only, we can select a location for that file. We can run it to Excel or to a table, which could be picked up from another application and fed into a website. So that propensity score could be fed into a website, which you saw earlier in that PowerPoint slide deck, which could then be used as a trigger to tell a customer service rep, yes, make them an offer, or no, don't make them an offer. Any questions so far on this?
I'm sorry, last session, I didn't quite get everything.
Okay. So when you go into deployment mode, there's a way to deploy a model to take that table and put it in your enterprise on what we call a grid. The name of the product is CNDS. It's somewhat outside the scope of this. With that grid, the data from that table could be fed into a website, which would pick it up off via a web service and take that propensity score and put it onto a customer service screen to help the customer service rep figure out, should I give this person an offer or not.
But that's when you give a list of CSR to let them call the people, right?
Correct. Or it could be done at point of interaction. It could score it real time and just return that score instantly.
So in terms of score real time, then how do you pick with all these kind of ad hoc? You run the report, you can get those scores.
Right. There's two ways to do it. You score in batch and do it 50 at a time, or you set this up in deployment mode so that every new case that comes in is scored and returned to the web right away, and picked up off the web. And then on the web interface the customer service rep is looking at, he or she might see that the score is 0.96. And there'll be a notification that, hey, you need to provide this person with a retention offer. So that's it. We're pretty much done. One thing I forgot to mention is we do have SQL pushback. You can read SQL with spss and take SQL that you created in another application, read it in, and read tables that perhaps exist in a data warehouse. It's a huge time saver if you're working with data warehouse. That's about it. I just wanted to give you some customer references. These are mostly from the telco industry. You'll notice Cablecom reduced churn from 19 to 2%. British Telecom 100% increase in campaign effectiveness. We have an insurance company to name a few. The advisory firm is Nucleus Research. I want you to go home and Google Nucleus Research and get familiar with their white papers on predictive analytics. By and large, results are achieved in the span of just under 11 months, meaning 94% of our customers had a positive return on investment 11 months after they bought SPSS. They had to implement it, they had to learn it, they had to build their models, but we have a 94% success rate. That's it. If anybody has any questions, we have a couple more minutes, but I'm trying to get you guys out by 2 o'clock. Yeah, that's a little bit outside of scope. If you're interested in a forecasting demo, we can set one up. Yes.
The SQL pushback, can you achieve that through the clone version?
Yes. I'll show you SQL pushback briefly. I don't have SQL files set up, but I can at least point to the algorithms that do that. But we have a source node that reads SQL databases shown here. And what you would do is, when you open this up, you have to define a new SQL data source. If you define the SQL data source, it'll read all the tables within that data source. And you know, there's no DBase table set up, but what a lot of folks do is they'll create a bunch of MS Access tables, get an ODBC driver for MS Access, and read in their MS Access data in SPSS and write SQL. Yes?
What is the learning curve for a SAS user to go and migrate to SPSS?
Well, that was me, right? I'm an ex-SAS user. Well, I used to work for SAS. I'm a SAS sales engineer and a SAS analyst. Probably, I would tell you to get deeply embedded in the product would take you 60 days. To get up and running with a couple models, probably 30. But we have all kinds of training. We have a user manual. We have help buttons. By the way, if you look at any of these icons, see this question mark?